Did not work.
Everything else worked. I'll take it. Yes, sir. We are live. Y'all let me know right now in the chat if you see me, if you hear me on YouTube, if you hear me on Twitch, Twitter. I don't think I have the Twitter chat pulled up. Forgot to do that one. I knew I left something out of this. But hey, we got almost everything. Almost everything right this time. We even started YouTube. So here we are. We're good to go. Yes, sir. All right.
Hello, everybody.
A little bit of cackle on the highs again. I don't know what's wrong with this microphone. I'm just going to have to swap microphones at some point, but I will just try to be as quiet as I possibly can. It's like I did a ton of audio. I think this audio has problems. I think this microphone just has problems.
Yours?
Mine. Yeah, well, I mean, on when you're really loud and you're not really loud. So I know we've had some problems. I'm just going to have to switch audio, but I'm not going to do it right now in the middle of this live stream. So I apologize for that. You know, so much is we got so much going on here. Not everything's working for us. But Nick in the house from Columbus, Georgia. All right. Sound is good on YouTube for me. Awesome. San Antonio in the house over on YouTube. Looks like we've got some folks here. Thunderclap from Twitch in the house. So hopefully that's working out and everything is moving along smooth on all of these platforms. We are doing, what is it?
Grant says the audio is good on YouTube.
Great. Fantastic.
So maybe it's just some of the others.
I think when I just get really loud, and right now I'm being very controlled.
Very controlled.
And I'm going to try to be very in control of my voice.
Last.
It's going to last until I have a few pours, and then y'all are going to hear some popping and cackling. But I'm cackling most of these streams anyway. So hopefully y'all are having a good Monday. It has been a busy weekend, busy last week for us. Lots going on, a few things to update. No real big updates, but we do have a few things to talk about. And we got some whiskey to try, some new whiskey.
Why can't we see our old thing we used to see on this screen?
What do you mean the old thing we used to see on this
We used
screen?
to see ourselves.
Okay, yeah, but okay. Look, that makes you
we
feel
go.
better right
Yes.
there. Now you can see yourselves.
Yes.
Okay. Jill can see herself now, so we're good.
Right.
She didn't want to go if she wasn't seeing herself. It's a little unusual, right? All right, so we've got our haul from New York. So that was a very cold trip to New York.
It was.
I was under-equipped for the weather, but didn't know it was going to be that bad.
I was equipped for
I
the
didn't know I was going to be out that long. Jill
I was very equipped for the weather.
Jill had a very nice pair of gloves.
I did. That I
And
lost.
then she had a jacket that it has pockets, but then right next to the pockets it has pass-through holes. And she just stuck her gloves through the pass-through holes and
they're
left them
somewhere in
on a
New York.
street in New York somewhere. So somebody got a very nice set of gloves there.
Yeah, they did.
So it's, it is what it is. Carlos says you should do a video of your bourbon collection. Carlos, when we get the new studio going, which I'm hoping is a mere weeks away at this point, we will do that when we're moving everything over there. We'll go through it all and kind of talk about it. Midtown is definitely the worst place to buy stuff, but that's where we were.
But everybody was nice.
We had a good
We had a
time.
great
We were
time.
there. We just document the scene, and if we find whiskey, great, and if we don't, that's cool too. We had a great
pizza
time.
and beer and
And I've gotten mixed reviews as to whether or not the pizza choice was a good one. Some folks said, yeah, pretty good choice. Some folks said the best choice you could have done considering where you were. And some folks are like, you done messed up. So,
well, it was good to us, so I don't guess we messed up too bad.
yeah.
We had a good time.
Bourbon selection for sure there, Douglas. Bourbon, we don't have a collection. We have a selection. Speaking of selection, I want to warm my palate up. What we're going to do is we're going to go through, we only bought a couple of bottles in that video. We're going to try those bottles for the first time. Never tried either of them. Then Jill is going to set up a mail call blind. We're going to go through mail, some bottles that came in the mail, and then she's going to pour them as a blind. We've got 6 of them in there. David says, volume? Yes, David, turn it up. So, I've been working on audio all day. The levels look pretty good to me on our system here, and I'm clipping if I talk too loud. So we'll keep working on it. I may have to buy another set of microphones. I don't know. This is the second set of microphones.
Oh, goodness. And speaking of mail.
Speaking of mail.
Yeah, I got mail also.
What'd you get?
I got wine from Tracy and Will Clark. Thank you, Tracy and Will. I got 4 bottles of wine. and I'm drinking one of them.
What are you drinking right now?
I'm drinking the Petite Syrah from...
Okay. Well, I mean, apparently you like it. You're almost down to the bottom of that bottle.
Well, we started it last night at the Super Bowl party. So it wasn't just me.
So you were sharing it with folks.
Yes, we shared this one. This one's really, really good. It was a hit. Obviously, it's almost gone. But it's 3. I think that's the brand, just 3. It's a 2018 Petite Syrah from Central Costa County. It's really, really good. And then I got a Cabernet Franc from Clarksville, California, 2019. Can't wait to open that one. And this one is D'Art Handcrafted Wines, a 2019 Lodi Tempranillo?
Don't ask me to pronounce words. You don't want that.
That's interesting.
Nobody wants that.
It's a red. Ooh, it's Spain's most popular red variety.
There you go.
Okay. And then one more.
One more. Uno mas.
A Zinfandel from Amador Ridge Vineyards. So thank you so much,
In
Tracy.
a very fancy wine glass.
Yeah, well, I always forget to bring the wine glass downstairs. So
Might be one down there.
there's a Brewzle rocks. Is this a
Right.
rocks glass?
That is the rocks glass.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Very
still tastes good.
famous Brewzle rocks glass. You can only get at Brewzle.com. Chuck over on Facebook, what's your favorite E.H. Taylor? Man, the barrel proof is going to be tops of that, and then the single barrel, then the small batch. Now, obviously not the super limited stuff, but I almost never get any of those. I want you to try something first that came in the mail. I think we tried this, but I can't remember if it was last week with Will or if we tried it on the supporter-only stream. I want you to try this dark mead here from Hidden Legacy, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Because it tastes more like a wine to me than most things I've had. Matt, I did get to try Travelers this past week, and
really now? Wouldn't get me any of it. Wouldn't get me the
Get
bottle.
it, come on now.
You wouldn't. We were gonna buy the bottle, and you're like, no, we'll find it somewhere else. And then we never found it anywhere else.
Well, it wasn't like we're not buying that bottle. I was just like, this store sucks. We're gonna go to another one that doesn't suck. And all the ones that didn't suck didn't have it. So maybe they suck too. I don't know.
So Mead is a wine.
Mead is a wine. Well, there you go. So
isn't it like a honey wine or something?
This honey, yeah. So it's made with honey, and this is dark mead. I don't know what that means.
Will says it was so good.
It's pretty freaking good. So I want to get your thoughts on it. I liked it a lot. Fermented honey. There you go. So it's a wine. It's not like grapes, but I got to be careful if I call something a wine. If I say anything, we had a video come out this week where I was like, yeah, this tastes like if you had just taken some scotch and aged it in Kentucky. And then the whole comments are just like, well, this guy just opens his mouth and shows he doesn't know that scotch is aged in used bourbon barrels. I didn't say anything about used bourbon barrels. I said in Kentucky, like temperature matters, people.
This is really good.
See, I'm cackling again already. So you like that mead? Hidden Legacy dark mead. Go with the dark mead. I didn't care anything for the light meads. I need to warm up my palate. Which one are we going to go for? Y'all vote, and I'm going to just pick one randomly. But these are the 2 bottles we bought. We bought the rye recipe. Now, what I found out here, Jill, that I didn't pay any attention to whatsoever, we did find out later that there were 2 ryes, kosher ryes. One of them is the straight rye, which is a rye whiskey. This one is a rye recipe, which is the bourbon. It's a high rye bourbon. And then this one is the McKenzie's we've got from New York. Y'all let me know which one of those y'all want me to start with to cut my teeth. Everybody's going to Buffalo Trace. It looks like it's winning in a landslide at this point, but y'all keep voting. Let's start with that one, then we'll go to the McKenzie's. And I'm going to be honest, that McKenzie's is a little light looking. It's a little thin. Here, I'll show y'all a close up here of the color difference between these two. If I can get over there, look at there. A little bit of a color difference. It doesn't show as bad on camera as it does in person. That could be because this one's got 2 labels there. You can get a close-up of
my shirt too.
Oh, the shirt.
Y'all see my Chiefs shirt?
It's a little out of focus in that shot, Jill.
Go Chiefs!
Homemade
and
Chiefs shirts.
Chiefs and Swifties. We all won last night.
Taylor Swift won the Super Bowl.
Yes, she did. It
Congratulations,
was amazing
Taylor Swift,
in her first
for winning
season.
in her first season.
Wow, what can she not do?
As a rookie, grab a couple of Glencairns.
What can she not do?
Didn't even know she could play football.
Will, are you saying get me out of here? Nope, 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 nope.
All right, into BBQ with the big $20 super chat. Chilling and sipping on a Weller Foolproof. Congratulations on the Weller Foolproof, and enjoy.
Matt.
What'd Matt say?
He says she can't sing. Come on now, you got to come up with something better than that.
Doesn't have to sing. She wins Super Bowls. Love your Arkansas picks. You're an entertaining dude. Appreciate it, Eric. Thank you.
Did we get the super chat?
We got the Into BBQ super chat right there. The other one will come through here in a minute. It takes a minute. So when the lights go green, you know to look. That's the trick now. That actually smells fat. Oh my God, that smells great.
That is good.
I wasn't a huge fan of the kosher wheat. I think it was. I think that's the one I have. Like, it's good. It's good whiskey. It's just not better than some of the other Weller products. But that smells really nice.
Well,
What's the proof on that?
They didn't get what they wanted then.
It's like 90-something proof. See, they go green, and they see Paul, love from down under, don't even like bourbon, but enjoy you and your family sharing with us. I appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for the support. I need to check and make sure those are actually showing up on the screen over there.
That's nice.
That's a really nice whiskey, yeah.
Wow.
It's obviously, it's got a lot of that Buffalo Trace sweetness, but it's not as sweet as, say, like a Blanton's or something. And I guess it's just the rye.
Well, I think, normally, obviously, I go for higher proof than that. Well, what did you say that was, like 90?
It's 90-something proof.
But
I can't read the small. I
think with the rye, adding that spiciness to it, you almost kind of take that as proof.
It does. The spiciness comes across as proof a little bit, for sure.
Wow,
absolutely.
That's really good.
I like that. So that's my favorite kosher Buffalo Trace so far. Now, do I like this better than other Buffalo Trace products? I don't know. We'd have to put it in a blind and see how it stacks up. Normally with Buffalo Trace, I'm expecting and I want that super sweetness, and this doesn't have it.
Nice.
I can taste or smell. I can't taste or smell the bourbon. How can I learn? So what you want to do is you want to try a lot of different whiskeys. Start with lower proof. Get yourself a proper whiskey glass. These are Glencairns. You can get. There's a lot of different proper whiskey glasses out there. So just continue trying and sipping and trying to experience. And always sip two, so you can start picking up differences, subtle, nuanced flavors between them. So. If you're just sitting down and sipping one, it's just bourbon. Spur, War Eagle. He says, roll Eagle, War Tide. Appreciate the support there, Spur.
War Eagle for sure.
Oh, Auburn got the win on the basketball hardwoods last week against Alabama and then immediately got demolished by Florida. Beach Sand. Hey, TJ and Jill, loved watching your New York hunt video, sipping on a Green River single barrel pure butterscotch.
Oh, really?
We've got a Green River single barrel sitting over there, Jill.
Do we? Is that one of the male?
That is one of the upcoming barrel picks that we've got going on. I don't want to talk too much about that, but I do have the 3 of the 4 short barrel barrels. The short barrel barrels, we'll do a little update on barrel picks real quick before we get into that McKenzie's. We are expecting to have a release by the end of the month. We're going to have 4 barrels from short barrels, a bee's knees honey finish. We're going to have a Green River, like a 5-year-old Green River. It's OZ Tyler, which was Green River before it was Green River. We're going to have a Green River that has been finished in a toasted 4 Roses barrel. And we've got a Jim Beam that is finished in a 4 Roses toasted barrel. They are all exceptional. Just a few notes on a couple of, I loved that Green River barrel. The Bee's Knees is one of the best honey finishes on the market. The Green River 4 Roses, toasted 4 Roses barrel, Like the folks at Short Barrel themselves said this is the best toasted barrel they've ever done, and we got it. So I loved it, but they also just, I haven't tried all their, I liked it better than our first toasted barrel, but I haven't tried all their toasted barrels. They have, and they said this was hands down the best one. Now they may just be blowing smoke, but I believe it. So long as I believe it, they can blow smoke all they want. It's when I'd start doubting them, but I tried it. And I believe it. I'm a believer.
Yeah, Will, you right. You know I'm over here like, oh my goodness. I can't, I'm just not even going to read them.
We're going to have to get a new mod in here, start blocking folks. We're going to add a million mods.
I'm just not going to read them. I'm not going to read them.
Almost to 1,000 folks.
I expect better of you people. I expect better of you people.
Y'all pump the like button for me. Pump the like button.
The audio is really bad, Will says.
Will who?
Will, our son.
What? I mean, I get some people telling me the audio's great. I get some people telling me the audio's bad. Who the heck am I supposed to listen to?
They're clipping hard.
All right, hold on.
All right, hold on.
You keep them entertained, Jill.
Well, what am I supposed to do? They don't like to talk about Taylor Swift.
I mean, I could make the audio lower, but then what happens if it's lower? I don't know.
Dragon says it's my mic. I don't really know if that's...
Yours is boosted a little bit, so it could be picking up me and clipping.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody said audio's fine. I don't know. We're getting mixed.
Well, we are about to lose audio for just 1 second. I'm going to try something crazy. Now, these things sounded horrible the last time.
I missed the super chat. Oh, okay. No, it didn't show up on the
saying
screen
it hasn't showed up yet. So here's you.
Here's me.
This one's going to be me.
Change it out.
Yeah, you could just swap your lav, and then...
On.
Okay, y'all let me know if this is
and then just
better.
Turn this one
but
off.
this is definitely louder. Definitely louder. I'm gonna have to turn it down a notch. All right, I've got audio and it is super loud.
Super loud.
Are we clipping though? Are we clipping?
Are we clipping? How do I turn this one off?
You don't worry about it. Just go with it.
Oh, I turned it off. Look at me.
Look at you.
All right. We missed everything, y'all. Sorry.
Okay, are we better? Are we better?
Are we better?
Hit her mic when fixing her hair. So they said it's all you. It's all your fault. I'm going to take this down a hair.
Sounds better.
Sounds a bit better. There you go.
Much better.
All right.
Audio is good.
I'm going to spend $1 million next week on audio. Buck with the $10 super chat. Appreciate it. So apparently the old mics, or the new mics, not good. Jeffrey Griffin sipping a Weller Antique 107. Sorry that we had to jump on the mic train there. Matthew retracted the super chat. So sorry I missed those, and we are just trying to put on a good live show, and apparently I spent an hour doing audio tests, and everything was fine. Everything was great. So didn't have any clipping in my audio test. I was flipping my hair too. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh, okay. These mics better. Those mics, no bueno. That's frustrating. All right. So Buffalo Trace Kosher Rye, thumbs up, thumbs down. Kosher Rye recipe, thumbs up. I agree.
Like it.
Good bottle there.
I like it. I like it.
Let's try this McKenzie's right here. Now, one of my favorite beers is the McKenzie Scotch Ale at Red Clay, which we have a bunch of that aging. Hand me a bottle opener. You see it right there next to those tongs. We have a bunch of it aging in a barrel. I was supposed to go try it today, but I got delayed. So Wednesday, I should. So next stream, next Monday, I should have an update on how our beer barrel aging experiment is going. We'll know a lot more about it. They've been in there 2.5 months at this point, and so we'll get to try them out. What is it? You look frozen. You're waiting on that super chat to pop up, aren't you?
No, I was just reading someone's comment that was kind of weird.
Matthew, just got into bourbon in the last couple of months. Hope to catch up with you when you're back in Ohio. Hopefully at Middle West and Columbus. So we are having some conversations with Middle West, and we're having some conversations with Watershed about coming up to Ohio and doing some stuff. So I'm sure we'll be back up there sooner rather than later. Okay. Smells better than I thought it would. It is a little light. Okay, it needs more age. I will give you that. It needs more age. It's 91 proof, but everything going on there is good. Like, I need more of it. I need 100 and something proof, and I need it a few years older, but that's pretty good. Just did my first 2 blinds back to back. At least I guess my Old Forester single barrel pick over my buddies. Enjoy that rye recipe. It's the best kosher.
Really
that's the only second one I've had, but I agree that's the best one I've had thus far for sure. Jill, you see Matt Ward's? Matt's gonna send it to us. You're gonna be disappointed. That's all. Matt's gonna send us the Traveler,
Thank you, Matt.
It's not bad. I tried it. I didn't think it was bad, but also didn't think it was spectacular. Like, it's just kind of bland. It has a little hint of Canadian whiskey on it. And so but that's like the only defining characteristic is that little bit of Canadian whiskey. And so wasn't a huge fan of it. There's a super chat. I get a little, I wish I could get these going faster. They pop up over here and then they distract me until they actually show up everywhere else. We're going to do a blind here. Ash, Buffalo Trace blind would be interesting. We're going to do a blind here in a second of stuff that's come in the mail. So we're going to see who sent us the best mail whiskey. That's what we're going to do.
Whiskey.
Enoch, so Chad, I'm new to all this bourbon stuff. What's everyone's favorite drink? Y'all let Enoch know, especially if you're on Twitch, what the favorite drink is. Not sure it's picking up the Twitter messages. I haven't seen any of those come in. So sorry if you're watching on Twitter. Nothing I can do about it at this point. Love Woodford. Let's see. Hold on. MH. You should check out Short Mountain Distillery in Tennessee. I think that's on our list. Grant, make a note of that for us to get some samples from them. Tim in Texas. Love the Woodford Double Oaked. Thanks. Appreciate it, Tim. I love the Woodford Double Oak too. It's one of my favorites you can get just about anywhere. And Tyler says the Gamecocks coming for them Tigers on the 14th. And Tyler, if they're coming here to Auburn, they are going to get sent back home with their tail between their legs. That doesn't really work for a chicken, does it? But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so McKenzie, pretty good.
Yeah. Did you try it in New York?
We did. I'm not sure it was the same bottle.
Okay.
But we did try a bottle from them. So you're right, though. In the video, I think we did, because we tried this and then we tried the Kings County, but the Kings County was a high malt. And I meant to get my Kings County out to see if it was a high malt, because I remember the small barrel char, but I don't remember the high malt on the bottle I've got. So I'll have to look for something a little older from these guys. Coming to Lexington, Kentucky, we have got a lot of Kentucky trips in the works right now. Lots of things going on in Kentucky. Going to get out to Texas some too. So I see somebody mentioning Malcolm talking about Lubbock in the house. They will leave plucked and stuffed and boiled and deep fried. Pressure fried. That's the only way to do chicken. Horse Soldier versus Garrizon Brothers. Well, I don't know, I'd probably take Garrizon Brothers myself. The one Horse Soldier I have, I just wasn't a huge fan of. It had some off notes to it. Garrizon Brothers is an intense thing, but they're just proudly who they are, right? Like, you know what you're getting with them for sure. Caleb, we go live most Mondays, almost every Monday unless I'm gone, at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Isaac asked, will we ever make it to Maine?
Yes, it's on the trip. We're trying to plan. We were having conversations today about how we're going to get up the East Coast, and we got to get it booked. But it is our expectation to hit every state on the East Coast and do at least one bourbon hunt in every state this year. The beauty is that the taste is subjective, so you really have to try them all and see how you like them for yourself. Yes. Good call, they're mediocre for sure. The Garrizon funk love or hate relationship. Yeah, and I don't love it or hate it. I got to be in the mood for it, you know? It's just not something you want to have every day for sure. It's just something, an occasional thing. Somebody will come and they'll try it, and we'll try it, and then we'll just drink half the bottle. That's usually how Garrizon Brothers goes here at the house. All right, so let's start talking about what we're going to set up for this blind. And then y'all, once I get everything in this blind, y'all going to tell me what you think the best bottle in this blind is. And you could just guess randomly, or you could have tried some of these bottles and tell me what your favorites are. But this is Mail Call, a new segment where we're going to go through what is in the mail. David with the super chat there. Hey, TJ and Jill, wife's birthday, and we're watching you. She's sipping on a Malbec, and I'm sipping on the last of the Crittenden's 4-grain. So, David, I've got some good news before we get into this mail call here. I was told that Matt found us 5 more barrels of 4-grain.
5?
5 more barrels. That's what Grant told me. If that's not true, he did send me a picture of 1. If it's not true, you have to get on to Grant. It's not my fault. James just got into bourbon. How do you identify the smells? It's good to just like look at other people's notes and then just do a whole bunch of sniffing. It helps to have a glass that, is curved like that. It doesn't have to be a Glen, but a glass that's curved. Sometimes it's easier if you put a little water on it at first, or if you let it sit for a little while and some of that alcohol dissipates, you can usually start picking up some things. Can you give a shout out to Michael Rafferty? It's his birthday. What do you got? Michael Rafferty, wasn't he like a sportscaster or something? Or is it a different Michael Rafferty? Don't know, but I hope he's having a good birthday. Oh, we're way behind here. I skipped that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you skipped
my thing's moving too fast up there. Should I be kicking myself for passing up on a New Riff single barrel proof store pick? Also passed up on a Weller 107 for $200. Big love from Cape Cod. Let me know if you need suggestions for Massachusetts. We do. Let Grant know. He's collecting all of those. I mean, New Riff single barrel proofs are pretty good. We're going to have one coming to patrons here pretty soon. I've got the samples in. I've got to distribute this week, so we'll probably have one of those here in a pretty soon, recent upcoming release. But they're good bottles. It depends on what your price was. $200 for a 107, no bueno. Way too much. Rob, thanks for the recommendation for the Holiday Soft Red Wheat. It won a 3-person blind between 8 pours, including Blanton's. That thing hits out of its weight class, man. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's just its weight class. Lord have mercy, they're rolling in. I'm trying to go to this mail call. Keep them coming. Headed to Biloxi, Mobile next week. What local bottle should I not miss? Try to grab a JT Mellick. Pure rice whiskey. Super interesting. It's not a bourbon, but it's just rice whiskey. That's going to be the most interesting, unique thing. But also while you're down there, you probably can find some Crittenden stuff. They're right across the line there in Mississippi. I mean, little ways away there in Mississippi. So those will be interesting. I don't know technically if you can get JT Mellick in Alabama down there, but if you come across the line in Louisiana or something like that, definitely try those out. Jeff watches from San Jose, Guatemala bourbon, too expensive here, had to trade for good tequila. That's fair, as long as it's good tequila. The sexual vanilla, thanks for the inspiration and knowledge, brother, we're huge fans. Well, if I got the sexual vanilla, that's what Jill calls me sometimes. No, too far. I've gone too far. That was not a funny joke. I apologize. I dial it back. I'm not the sexual vanilla. I'm the androgynous vanilla. Jill's not in the mood tonight. She is not in the mood tonight. Okay, mail time. Let's finally get around to the mail time. The Prideful Goat's 8-year-old cask strength Prideful Goat. We had the folks at the Bourbon Real Talk podcast who have the Prideful Goat here send us that bottle in the mail. No note attached, just here's some bourbon, and I like it. But they also sent unfiltered cask strength. Don't know if it has an age statement on it, but they sent this one too. So it's going to go in the black. That one's 8. That one doesn't say. It just says unfiltered cask strength bourbon.
122.1.
This one's 115.8.
Wow.
And then the Nashville Barrel Company sent us their single barrel straight bourbon whiskey cask syndicate 7-year-old. I think that's, I mean, all these may be MGP. I don't know.
This is finished in Caribbean rum barrels.
Ooh, okay. Did not realize that. Mm-hmm. That's going to be interesting.
Because you need glasses.
Because I don't read even if I didn't even try to read that one, to be honest with you. Nashville Barrel Company, 6-year-old cask strength right there. And then we got, of course, Nashville Barrel Company sent these. And then I guess the Brothers Bond, I don't know who sent these. I guess the Brothers Bond sent them. But this is Brothers Bond, original cask strength. And then they sent Brothers Bond American Blended Rye. Let's not put the rye. We're not going to put the rye in this blind.
We're not.
We're not going to put the rye in the blind.
But isn't this a rye?
I thought that was just cask strength. No, it is a rye. It is a rye. That is an 8-year rye. I didn't read the rye. I just saw the 8-year. So these are rye. So we need to add something in here if we're going to, let's just add the rye.
This
just
is also 95% rye. 95%.
Well, they sent us our rye sweets. We're just throwing them all together. Blind it is. Should have read the bottles before I chose this, but here we go. Brett says somebody's mic. Jill, I think your mic's rubbing over there. I think your mic's rubbing. I don't ship bottles, but some places can. It is legal if you have the right ways of doing it. I don't ask questions I don't want answers to. Oh, also, we got some interesting things we're going to try before we do this blind. So y'all lock in which one you think's going to win, which one you think's going to be the best. And we're going to go ryes versus bourbons because there are no rules and this is not scientific. And anybody wants to complain about it, please send your complaints to goaway@brewzle.com. We got this guy. We got this guy in. You have not tried this guy. This is 8-year-old Wild Turkey 101. Export only as far as I know. And this one.
Didn't I try that one?
You tried this one, which you're going to try again. Oh. This is 12-year-old.
That was good.
Wild Turkey 101. Ooh.
Thank you, Britton.
Thank you, Britton. Slide those off to the side. Let's warm up our palate here with some turkey. And then I'm going to, once we try the turkey, I'm going to leave and you're going to have to pour those in some Glencairns.
Yeah, our friend Britton was recently in Indonesia and he sent me a picture and he had like all these bourbons in there. And he said, does TJ want any of these? And I was thinking, no, I don't see anything that he would really want.
Just like, no.
And I showed him to TJ and he was like, yeah, those two.
These two, please. Yes, please. Give me 2 fresh Glens. We're not pouring this over the top of anything else. And then 4 of the colored Glens are over there. Mm-hmm. One of the colored Glens is in the back there. And we will just have to pour one of these into a non-colored Glen.
Gotcha.
Such is life. The goat is going to win. Now, the goat sent ryes, so that's a little disadvantage, but, you know, I didn't know they were all ryes. I thought just one of them was rye. That 8-year, oh, that's so good. Man, that is so good. Out of these two?
The 8 and the 12.
Oh, the 12 for sure.
Yeah.
But I had just a little sip of the 8. And then you and I shared that little sip of the 12, but I want you to try that 8 right there and then compare it to this one. No Pappy, we do have some. We're not drinking it.
This one is the 8.
Yeah. New colored Glens, mediocre. We've had them for a while, thanks to Mark. I think he was here earlier. I think he might still be here. Sent us some colored Glens, but we only have 5, and I'm going to be blinding 6 whiskeys here. So Tyler is asking, do you ever think about doing an infinity barrel? So Tyler, we're going to do a lot of infinity barrels. So what we've done is we're starting to have events around the country. And so our first event, which y'all probably should know about, is coming up in Memphis on the 26th of February. And what we're going to do there is we're going to be at Old Dominic. We are going to be live streaming. We're going to be picking 4 barrels of whiskey. But also, if you bring a bottle, it has to be Tennessee whiskey or a bourbon. If it's finished, it needs to be finished in some sort of oak, a double oaked, toasted stave finish or toasted barrel finish, like no crazy finishes. No George Dickel, please. You bring a bottle, you pour it into the barrel, and at the end of the night, I just ordered a pump. It's shipped today. We're going to pump all the whiskey out. It is food safe, made for high ABV alcohol. Hard to say. And so you pour it in, and at the end of the event, you take away an infinity blend from that event. So we're going to start doing those at each and every one of these events that will allow us to do so, which I think is a lot of fun. So y'all let me know if y'all like that idea, and if you're coming to that event, somebody will drop a link into the chat, definitely on YouTube. I don't know if we have somebody on all the platforms, but we're looking for RSVPs on that. Oh.
That 8's good.
Yeah,
but the 12, I remember the 12.
Lord have mercy, these are so good. It is a shame that you got to go all the way to Indonesia to get a bottle this good, because that is fantastic right there. Oh, man. Looks like Jesse's going to be there on Facebook. Looks like, let's see, who just played a George Dickel commercial? That's hilarious. Give me some dollars, Dickel. We'll be there at Old Dominic. Looking forward to it. Live from the patio. Awesome.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's got to be a new bottle. It cannot be open. So you can't be trying to fool me with what's in it. So you have to bring a fresh open bottle. What you do is you'll bring the bottle, and we'll sticker the bottle. We'll just throw a Brewzle sticker on it. And that way, at the end of the event, you come back, and after everybody's dumped their whiskey, you fill it up. And you've got a bottle from that particular event. So everybody bring Coy Hill. Yes. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes.
We'll take that.
And I will be filling everybody's back up halfway on the way back out. And the first person that brings something not Coy Hill, I'm gonna be like, bro, we're gonna have to get a different barrel for you. But Old Dominic is providing the barrel, so we are picking barrels of their Tennessee whiskey. So they're gonna give us a freshly dumped Tennessee whiskey barrel to then do our infinity blend in. So it's gonna be fun.
This is gonna be fun.
The whole event's gonna be fun. So we're going to have patrons there, and patrons will be picking 3 barrels, and then we're going to have as many folks that attend as we can actually picking the 4th barrel. So you'll be able to go up and try it and vote on which one you liked best, and then we'll take that barrel. And then at the end, me and Josh from Spillway are going to try the 4 and see who got the best barrel. And then we're going to take, I think we're going to take them all, and then those will be available to patrons, to the Brewzle Club at some point in the future once they're all bottled up.
Les says him and his wife will be there, and he sent us that wine.
Nice.
Remember?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Look forward to seeing you there.
Look forward to meeting y'all.
The Discord, Mediocre Gaming says, learned a ton from Discord for Brewzle. The Discord is fantastic. I do not deserve that. It's awesome. Did we end up visiting Kansas City? We drove through there.
We've been to Kansas City.
We got to go back in like June or July.
Yeah, we have friends that live in Kansas City, so it's June, right? I think it's June.
I don't remember dates. I just go where I'm told.
I believe it's June.
When I'm told to be there. All right, Jill, you're going to blind these for me?
I am.
Don't color code them. I don't think it's possible this time.
I don't think it's possible.
And you're going to need 1 Glen that is not colored. All right.
Goodness, and I got to open all of these.
Well, you want me to open them? I'll open them. Here, we can open them together. You open one, I'll open the other.
Oh, that's already opened.
Which one's open? Oh, the Nashville's open?
Did you open it?
Yeah, I think I tried it and one of the Prideful Goats or something. Somebody tried it. I don't even remember if it was me. There's so much whiskey in here, who knows?
Somebody tried it.
Slide me another. Who knows who tried it? That's what I got to explain to folks. Sometimes I'll try something for the first time on a video, and it's half empty, and they're like, yeah, there's no way this guy's trying it for the first time. I'm like, dude, there's a lot of people around here that just break into stuff. They're not stealing, but they're like, hey, what's that? I was like, try it. I don't know. Looks pretty good. Ooh, nice cork pop. You need some help?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and blind them, and I'll watch.
No.
They're not blind that way? What a wonderful problem. It is, man. I tell you what, I have got a very, very fortunate situation. All right, I am going to disappear.
Disappear?
But they'll still be able to hear me. I'm going to leave my mic on.
But you're going to be talking? Good, because it's hard for me to talk and pour.
It's hard for you to talk and pour, so I need to be talking while you're pouring.
You talk to everybody and I pour.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So y'all, again, let me know if you haven't already which one of these you think is going to be the best one.
Focus and take a picture.
Oh, man, I can't wait till this new studio in here is done. It's a mess right now. Jill, I had it cleaned out, and Jill moved a bunch of stuff in here this weekend. She cleans up, and she puts it all in here my way. And now it's all got to go because he's supposed to be here building shelves pretty soon. And this thing's going to hold like 1,000+ bottles in here, I believe, when it's said and done. A little deeper than those shelves, a little different design just because it's got to run a lot further and hold a lot more bottles. But also it's going to be floor to ceiling. So it'll go all the way from the ceiling to the floor, a little closer together than in there. But there'll be no cabinets behind me. The shelves will go all the way to the floor, which is going to be, you know, great. Y'all get to see me bend over and grab bottles. It's going to be wonderful. I may have to make the bar a little higher so you don't see too much, you know. Don't want to get y'all too excited before y'all start calling me sexual vanilla or something. I bought a whiskey thief, and so I'm doing this infinity barrel, and I'm thinking I'm just going to get a whiskey thief, and then we could just thief it out and fill people's bottles up. And so I got a whiskey thief, and it is, you know, probably the disappointment a lot of folks have run into in their lives. It is smaller than I anticipated it being. And so it could, like, if it was a full barrel and I just needed to get samples to see whether or not we wanted to, you know, make this a single barrel or something, this would be sufficient. But it would take a couple of these at least to fill up a bottle, and that's like full. And then as the barrel gets emptier, you're only getting a little bit in it, and there's no way we would ever get the whiskey out of the bottom. So I had to go find a very expensive fix to this, and I was like, well, let's find some sort of dumping thing we can take and put the barrel on it, and then we'll be able to dump it at the end and all of that jazz. And that just led me down a rabbit hole. Now it's like we got to carry a whole freaking dumping station. Like that seems expensive and difficult to actually accomplish. And so I then found a pump.
Okay.
But the pump wouldn't handle high proof alcohol, so then I had to get a nicer, more expensive pump that would actually pump alcohol out. And now we're going to be all clinical about it.
Do you want me to move them out of the way or what?
Yeah, just slide those suckers out of the way. I want everybody to see you.
Nobody wants to see me.
I'm just standing in the corner talking. I'm in the other room over there to be all fair.
To be all fair.
To be all fair. Semi-fairness. In semi-fairness, I'm over there. Can you proof test an infinity barrel? At the distillery, maybe. I've got a little thing to test it, and I may buy a device. Like, we probably need one as we start getting our own whiskey. But I would like to, yes. And at a distillery, they probably have the equipment to do so. But say we're at Spillway in his parking lot, I would have to have my own device to test that. But I may go look. I think they're fairly expensive, and I've already blown the budget right now on the pump, like the pump setup, because you got to get a pump. But then you can't just get a pump, Jill. You got to have a filter. Okay, well, because you don't want particulate getting in your pump. And then you got to have hoses. We can't just get any hose. The hose has got to be able to handle high-proof alcohol, just like the pump's got to be able to handle high-proof alcohol. But then the pump needs a stand, and then you need like an air filter, and then you got to take your air compressor and.
And what are you pumping it into?
Bottles.
Just bottles. Okay.
I think so. Maybe at the bottom we'll pump it into some sort of, you know, I was thinking we might take like one of your dispensers, or we might get one that's like stainless, and we just pump it in, and I can just be pumping it, and somebody can just pull the handle and be filling bottles.
Okay.
Something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Complicated. Let's make it complicated. That's what we're trying to do. I have the gift of gab. I've been blessed with the gift of gab. Little, oh brother, where art thou? I turned into a pump expert. I'm going to be able to take this thing apart blind.
Yep. You're going to be an expert in pumps.
That's one of the ryes for sure there. I don't know which one, but that's got a lot of rye on it. But it's good. I like it. I think that's going to be a problem here, is that all of these are going to be good. And so I don't think there's not going to be like, oh my God, that's awful, this is great. It is going to be weird having bourbons in with ryes, but we're not scientific. Mike, Jill, because the player's going to play.
And the hater's going to hate. Yes. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very, very much. See, I knew some of y'all were good people.
That one has.
Thank you very much, Mike. I really love that. Like that just made my night. That took away all the other hater comments. Thank you so very much for that. The player's gonna hate me.
That one's strange.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Wonder what that one is. It has a weird kind of burnt sugar menthol note to it.
Menthol.
And I don't know if that's just like it because it's a rye, but it's definitely, let's bring out our very expert Dr. Pepper Rinse.
Les says in the next blind, TJ's putting a pump together.
I'm going to assemble the pump while blind
Yep.
and then rating it.
Raffy says, next time you're in New York area, you got to go across the bridge to the Hudson County, New Jersey. Same selection as the city, but better prices rather than crazy secondary.
Big J Rock says Fort Brewzle, bottle your own. What I may do, I need find me a big stainless pot with a tap on the bottom of it. All stained, like high end, because you can't do the plastic stuff because the alcohol may react with it, right? So we need like a nice food safe stainless steel vat with a spigot, and then I'll just be pumping and you just come by and fill your own bottle. Chris with the super chat. Appreciate the support there, Chris. Okay, these are weird already. We got a lot of weirdness going on here already. And I was like, is my palate having a fit today? Because there's some, if Will was here, I'd be like, there's some shenanigans. I had a word there I was going to try to go with, and I can't say it. Some shenanigans.
I promise I did no shenanigans.
I know.
That's when I pick a bottle of my own to give you.
So that's when
I do shenanigans.
This one is good. It's got a great mouthfeel, but it is
I already know which one I'm picking.
Lower proof, or like the flavors on this one are much more mellow. I like it. I love the mouthfeel on it, but it is just super mellow. This one, like, what is that taste?
Don't know.
I mean, it's rye and burnt sugar.
Rye and burnt sugar.
You tell me. Shenaniganery.
Shenaniganery.
I was going to go with something like that, but I couldn't, like shenaniganery.
Ooh.
Tell me if it doesn't taste like menthol and burnt sugar. And I'm trying to place, because that burnt sugar flavor
smells really good,
reminds me of something. Like, I don't hate it. It's not like, oh my God, that's bad. But it's just, it reminds me of something, a whiskey, and I'm trying to remember what it is, which might give me a clue as to what the bottle is. Do you get that burnt sugar note on it?
Yeah, that's delicious.
Okay. I didn't say it was bad, but it tastes like menthol and burnt sugar, right?
It is hot. Like it's
You
burning.
choke it up.
Wow.
Do you realize it's possible to like Taylor Swift and hate the Chiefs?
Yes, I realize that's possible. I do. I do realize that's possible. I just don't adhere to that theory. I personally.
Menthols.
I mean, honestly, of course, if I was gonna cheer for an NFL team, even before Taylor started dating Travis, it would have been the Chiefs because of my friends living in Kansas City and them going for the Chiefs. So that would be who I would have cheered for anyway. But then, I just became a Chiefs fan because Taylor is there.
Yeah, if the question, or the key word there is if she had been an NFL fan, which now she definitely was not.
Before I didn't watch NFL except for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I will admit that. I'm not going to lie about that. I didn't sit here on Sundays and watch NFL games other than the Super Bowl. But
RJ, has your big plans fallen through in Chicago? They did before the season, and now we're about to, I need to send some messages and see if we can rekindle those. Was going to make shenanigan jokes about Super Troopers. My thing's covering it there. that's not going to come across typing it out. Yeah, hard to do Super Trooper quotes in chat there, Enoch, for sure. How about them dogs contributing to the Super Bowl win? I didn't see any dogs on the field, man. I don't know what you're talking about. He's a Georgia fan, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
We should. We need to do that, Brewzle Grant. We got to do the sexual vanilla tater stickers.
Okay. No, Mr. War Eagle, I did not.
Mr. War Eagle's in the chat?
PEW War Eagle.
Okay.
One. That's not the same one, right?
Paul. That's Paul.
Paul. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did not expect him to propose to her. No, absolutely not. It's too soon for that. It's too soon. They're cute, but it's too soon for that.
All right, so what are we doing here? Aiden, Mr. and Mrs. Brewzle. I got a bottle of George T. Stagg staring me in the face. Do I trade it or drink it? Well, I mean, if you think you can trade it for something you're more interested in, then flip it. I don't care. But if you can't, if you're just trading it for something equal value, it's freaking delicious. Man, it is delicious. So give it a try.
Joshua says you didn't read his donation.
I didn't read his donut. Sorry about that, Joshua. Let's look. Joshua on YouTube?
YouTube, yes.
We
didn't
missed
see
one.
it.
Right there.
Oh,
There you go. We missed it, Joshua. Sorry about that, man. Appreciate you letting me know. Joshua with the super chat. Love the channel. Was wondering if you would ever consider trying Jameson 8-year limited reserve.
18-year.
18-year limited reserve. Yes. Yeah, I would consider trying it. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to be a huge fan of it. So, but I'd love to try it. You never can tell when I find something I like. My taste buds are evolving. I think that's going to show in this blind because I think the ryes in this blind, for the most part, are better than most of these bourbons.
Mike King says the Chiefs and Ben Holiday, 2 Kansas City classics. I agree. And you have to add Boulevard Brewing. That's one of my favorite beers, like, ever. Love it.
All right, this is getting serious over here.
You getting serious?
That tastes like an MGP for sure. Which not bad, but it just tastes like an all right MGP.
I'm not sure if Taylor's going to the parade. I know she does have a tour in Australia date sometime soon. So
we need to go to Australia and watch Taylor?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Do some Down Under bourbon hunting.
If anybody out there in Bourbon Land has any Taylor Swift tickets that you don't want.
I don't think that's a thing. Those don't exist.
Or any way to get, contacts or anybody, just send them my way. I will take them. I don't care what country it's in. I'll fly there. Definitely Australia.
Okay, so this is a weird blind because we just mixed them up and we've got ryes and bourbons and all sorts of things here.
Rave Elevator won the Pappy 20-year lottery in his home state.
Which one of these was finished?
I don't know.
That's got to be the finish that I'm picking up. What was it finished in?
Oh, in rum something or another.
Because it tastes like a toasted barrel, but like a toasted barrel that got a little harsh.
Finished in Caribbean rum barrels.
Okay. It's got to be that one. That's what I'm picking up, a rum note.
Cigars and Spirits,
The
New
burnt
England.
sugar from the rum note. That's
His
exactly.
wife got the October Miami tickets. Congratulations.
Burnt rum note is what that tastes like. Okay, I'm ready. We don't really have a last place, but we have a top 3.
Okay.
The other 3 are just kind of almost equal. Mm-hmm. And none of them are bad. None of these are bad. None of these are bad bottles. I didn't have one where I just okay, I won't try that again. But there were 3. Now, the 3 that did not stand out are probably one of the reasons some of them may not have stood out is because some of these have some proof on them. Mm-hmm. And those were a little bland, and it could have been because they're lower proof. It could have been because they're mediocre. I don't know. Like they're good, but they're not quite to the level of the other three. And I'm messing up over there on my chat. It just went all the way back to the top of the page. I was trying to Randy says, come to Miami and do a hunt. It's on the list. It's on the list, Randy.
I've never been to Miami. Well, I take that back.
You've never left the hotel in Miami.
Right. I've only been there to go on a cruise one time.
Well, I've been a few times, but I always drop you in Orlando.
Yeah.
And then I
go. I go to Disney instead. But I would like to go to Miami.
And I might, this bottle right here, I might, on many days, put it much lower. Like I'm a little iffy on the rum finish on this one, right? Riley didn't know Usher had massive nips.
Okay.
Please get a Southern Collective pick. Loving the stream. Okay. They're on the list, I think. I don't know if we had some conversations or if we've had some conversations internally. But they are on the list. All right, so we're going to go with, let's figure out the last one, which is at the bottom. These three are very close.
Okay.
To me, the bottom one is the Gold.
The Gold?
And it's good. Like, it's good whiskey. It almost tastes a little bit like a Jim Beam. Like, it's got a little, it tastes like an MGP, but it's got that orange zest, but it's got a little nuttiness to it.
I have that other bottle over there so I can
this one?
figure out which ones are which.
Is it a goat?
Nope. All right, so
Okay.
your bottom one is the Gold.
By a hair. Like, the bottom three are all neck and neck.
Got
And they're all good.
eyelash in my eye.
Uh-oh. Now you can't tell me.
I can still tell you.
Midwest Grain Products, yes. So MGP is Midwest Grain Products, now known as Ross and Squibb. It's a large producer of spirits. A lot of folks source from them to make their own brands.
All right.
So if you see a bottle and it's distilled in Indiana and it did not come from Starlight, good chance it's MGP. Not always. Good chance, though.
All right, so in checking my photographic evidence, that is this one.
Okay, so that is the Nashville Barrel Company Straight Bourbon Whiskey 6-year-old cask strength. And this is distilled, oh Lord, distilled in Kentucky. So, like I said, it's got a little nuttiness to it. I did say that, but it's got a little orange peel. That's good whiskey. It's not, all of these other ones are much more, all of the top three are much more flavorful to me. So I like that bottle. I really do. If I've just had that one by itself, it's just kind of like sugar with a little nuttiness. Like it's sweet. You didn't want to try it?
Oh.
Sweetness with a little nuttiness. Like that's a good bottle of whiskey. These are just standing out a little bit for me tonight. Fred Minnick's top 5 goes down hard. This was his top 5? Okay. What do you think?
I really like that one.
I say it's good whiskey. It's good whiskey. This is the one that's the most controversial to me. Like internally, I'm struggling with this rum finish because I kind of like it tonight. I probably shouldn't have started like it was a second pour, but anyway, second from the end. This is one of the ryes. I don't know. I think it might be a proof thing with the blue one.
So the blue one's your next?
Yeah.
That would be this one.
That's the Brothers Bond rye whiskey. Again, good. Is the proof lower on that one? Yeah. That's all that got that one. That's all that got that one is the proof is a little lower. Good whiskey. Going back, I might give that Nashville a little hair on that, but it's, they're similar to me in quality, but I probably would go with the Nashville going back to it. This one I had a hair, like all of these three were basically neck and neck to me. And revisiting, I don't know if I like this one better than those two now. So I said they were basically neck and neck. The green one is the other one that's on that line. It's good. It's sweet. It's interesting, but
I would totally put this one above this one.
yeah. Going back to it, I would too. But they're all kind of
I mean, this one's good. It's got some interesting things going on, but I like this one better. All right, so the green one.
Yeah. And again, all of these are good whiskeys. Like, we're not complaining about any of these. All of these are really, really good. And I would probably do this blind again another night and come up with a completely different order because they are all so similar quality. The only one that I would definitely pick out is this one, and I ranked it third, but I'm not even sure I like it.
That is the Caribbean.
Oh, this is the rum cask?
Yeah.
Then what is this? What is this finished in? This is finished in something. The next one's this red one.
Wow.
That has like a rum burnt sugar taste to it. Does that say it's finished in something?
Don't know.
Single barrel straight bourbon whiskey cask strength. Are you sure?
You want to see? Well, then you'll see the rest of them. But yeah, I'll show you at the end. I took a picture. Single barrel straight bourbon whiskey.
How do they get that flavor out of a...
It's got a pretty color on it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like it has like a burnt sugar note to it. Almost like it was like, I guess it's just a cask. I don't know what a cask syndicate is. It's almost like, I thought at first it was a French oak. And maybe they've got something on the back that tells about it. Just because it's a single barrel doesn't mean it wasn't finished in something. I don't know what cask syndicate means, but that has like a kind of harshiness, you know, kind of that burnt sugar. Like, you tried it, right?
Oh, wow.
That's the one you like. That's the one I'm just not sure I like.
It smells like marshmallow.
Like, I'm not sure I like it, but I'm not sure I like it.
This smells like marshmallow.
Going back, I prefer this one now. So this whole thing's ruined. It's really strong though. Like, it's just really strong flavored. It's interesting, but I'm torn about the flavors it's giving off, whether I like them or not. It's very strongly flavored, and that's what kind of gets you.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Jill's not helping me any.
I like that one. All right, so your next one is...
I think this is the one that I just randomly poured another sample of. The next one is going to be E.
But we haven't done this one yet.
That's the winner. The next one's E.
E.
E is actually a little bit more, not as strongly flavored as the rest of them.
That's this one.
Not as strongly flavored as that one. Brothers Bond, cask strength. It's a nice whiskey. A little more like, I think when I was going through and I hit this one that's so strongly flavored, and it's sitting right next to it, I'm looking for something that's a little more middle of the road bourbon, because this one is so insane. Insane.
I like it.
I don't know if I'd go there, but
I like it.
This is
my two favorite are this one and this one.
Which one and which one?
This last one.
Okay.
And this one.
Try this one, see what you think.
Okay.
But again, like I said, these are all very close in quality. I would do this blind again, and I would get a completely different order on these for sure. So any of these whiskeys are good. This one is the one I would probably caution the most, as far as like, this whiskey is not for everybody. This is definitely, Alex says YouTube is wild with these ads. Every single week, somebody whine about the ads, and I'd literally turn the ads down. It was like moderate ads, and I was like, no, do low ads. I was like, do low ads. I want less ads for everybody. And then it's still apparently giving too many ads to somebody. I don't know what YouTube's problem is, but I tried, man. I tried.
That's good.
Thrasher, hopefully you got better pizza in New York than John's in Times Square. Next time you're up this way, give a brother a heads up. We'll show you the real. We did not. That was the best pizza we had because it was the only pizza we had in New York. Did Jill get a California Starbucks mug yet? Into Barbecue says.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if I have a California one. I will have to check on that. I'm not sure if I have
like
a
that.
California one. And Tyler asked, do I have an Idaho one? And I'm almost positive no, because when we were there, I couldn't find one. Were we in Idaho? We were in Idaho.
We were in Idaho.
Yeah, and I looked and looked and looked at all. I think that's the one we went to like 6 or 7 Starbucks. And we couldn't find any.
I would not have picked this Prideful Goat as a straight rye. I would have picked it as a high rye bourbon. That is a very bourbon-friendly rye, and I like it. And apparently, I'm starting to find out, when I first started trying different whiskeys, I like that kind of sweet, quintessential Buffalo Trace profile, the Wellers, all of that stuff. And I'm really starting to evolve into a high rye bourbon fan. So the high rye bourbons, or the ryes that are, that are high corn, I'm starting to really develop an affinity for them, and this 8-year-old Prideful Goat is that. That's probably the reason it stood out. It's got a great mouthfeel, like the viscosity, the consistency of it. Yeah, unfiltered. That helps a whole bunch too.
Aaron V says that Jill is right. I'm not sure what I'm right about, but thank you.
Jill's always right.
I'm always right.
Ads do fund the bourbon hunt, but I don't want to take away from the live stream experience. Like, we want y'all to have a good time. We want y'all to hang out.
First name,
Right.
last name, asked what was my favorite soda pop.
Soda pop? What's that?
Absolutely Dr. Pepper Zero. That's my favorite.
Kojak
all
says,
the
I
time.
wonder where he gets a subscribe button on Twitch. I don't think I do I? Is there a subscribe button on there? If there is, just tap it for me. See what happens. Just like whole hand, just molest the subscribe button. Thank you. I'll average is like 15 per stream so far that I've seen on Twitch. So we had a bunch the first time, but the first time we went live, we weren't live on any other platform. So right now we are multi-streaming to multiple platforms. This is the second stream where we've done that, the second Monday stream in a row where we are on multiple platforms. We are testing. We've had we've had 200, 250 folks on Facebook hanging out, like Todd Hall right here asking about Noble Oak Rye is my favorite. I haven't had it, Todd, but I appreciate you hanging out. John Sweatman jumping in there. He's got a German whiskey. We do have some whiskey from Indonesia. You didn't try the Indonesian whiskey, did you?
No.
We're going to try the Indonesian whiskey here in just a second. Sweatman, bring me that German whiskey and we will give it a try. What is it? What did I do?
Your words you choose.
What words did I choose?
Inappropriate ones.
Okay, sorry. Just rub on it. So just rub on the subscribe button just a little bit.
How about just tap?
Could you?
Or press.
What words
or
would you like? How would you tell them how to? What should they do to the subscribe button?
tap? Just tap it.
I don't even think we have a subscribe button on Twitch. I think it's a follow or something. I don't know.
Well, follow then. Press the button.
KC says smash it.
Smash is fine.
Punch the subscribe button in the face right now. No, that's too much.
No,
It's
that's
far.
too much.
Dang, I was trying, Jim. Trying to get them to help us out. Lord.
Just tap.
Just tap-a-roo.
tap.
Tap-roo, Josh says. Just picked up my first Eagle Rare Antique 107 in MSRP, and 107 wins. Yeah, I mean, Little Bode. That's the game right there. Caress Thunderclap says, Deep Fried's already following. If we get so many people over on Twitch, we get like access, we get like partnered, and it's kind of a whole new world opens up. I don't know. Jake's in the face. Do you have a video of tasting Pappy? We do have a video of tasting Pappy. It's a short. I don't know if it's on, like, the problem is it's really hard to find videos on Facebook. So I would just take you to YouTube, but then that's not good, and Facebook hates me for that. So the Pappy 15 is delicious, not worth the price, not even close. The 12 is a waste of resources at 90 proof. And the 10 is pretty freaking tasty at 107, but then you could just get an antique 107, and it's almost as good for $700 less on the secondary market. So, does MGP say it on the bottle? Dan, no. Typically what it's going to say on the bottle if you're trying to find an MGP whiskey is it's just going to say distilled in Indiana. That's what it's going to say. Now, that doesn't necessarily guarantee it's MGP, but it's pretty good guess. So like this one, this Prideful Goat, they don't distilled in Indiana. So that's MGP's rye mash bill almost guaranteed right there. And it won my blind because I love these bourbon-friendly ryes. And then, of course, they may come and tell me, oh, that's 100% rye whiskey. I don't know. It won tonight. I like it. Chew just had the first Van Winkle 12 today. Well, I take back everything I said, man. The Van Winkle 12 is fantastic. I'm glad you finally got one, and I hope it was good to you. But at 90 proof, you got to come harder than that. You've got to come harder. Do you want to try these Indonesian whiskeys here in just a minute, Jill?
I think I'm good.
Jill's done. Jill's done with the whiskey. She's on a wine kick over here.
Yeah.
So after this stream, I'm going to jump over to Discord. I'm going to jump in there with Brewzle Club members, our patrons. And so if you want to be a part of that, you can join the Brewzle patron at patreon.com/Brewzle. Just Google it. If you can't find it, somebody will drop it in YouTube, but I don't know if we got it on every other channel at this point. We also got the Discord. Once you're in Patreon, you can link your Discord and it'll automatically give you access to that supporter-only live chat where everybody can talk. Like, y'all can ask questions, we can talk, we'll talk about anything. Like, there, I can talk about almost anything if you ask the right questions. I'm trying to keep some secrets. I'm not good at it. So if you ask the right questions, you'll get all the secrets. But I'm not going to tell you unless you ask the right question. But you don't, like with me, you don't have to hit on the exact right question. You just gotta be kind of close. And then I'll just spill all the secrets. How long before Buffalo Trace products become more available? Chris says over on YouTube. Well, they just doubled their still, and so like the market's coming down. People are less interested. The economy's tightening up a little bit. Everybody's broke because everything's freaking expensive. So we're seeing secondary prices come down. That's going to help a little bit. People will quit hoarding quite as much whiskey. They've doubled their production, but like even if you're just talking about like Buffalo Trace branded products, that stuff's what, 6 years old? I don't know. It's pretty old. And so it's going to take years, like realistically a decade before the production, the doubling of production helps their products become more available. But the economy is kind of helping a little bit, so we're seeing it a little more already. Tyler sending you an Idaho mug.
Aw, thank you, Tyler.
Thoughts on E.H. Taylor Straight Rye? Love the small batch. Really glad I found it while in Reno. Yep. The E.H. Taylor Straight Rye is one of my favorite ryes. Like that's probably definitely top 10, probably top 5 rye that I own. I'm a huge fan of it. So if you can get a chance to get the E.H. Taylor bonded rye, I strongly suggest you do so. Let's roll all these out of the way. Let's get this nonsense out of my face. We were talking about today. We were talking about doing an automotive channel. Jill, you want to do an automotive channel with me?
What we gonna do?
We're going to buy the nicest example of a car nobody wants, and we're gonna fly to a city. We're gonna buy this car or drive. Like we may drive to. We will get to a city. We will find ourselves in a city. However we get there.
Yep.
We will buy a 1997 Ford Probe. And we will drive around the city and do some bourbon hunts, but then, we'll film the buying of the car and then we'll road trip that car home.
Oh, wow.
And we'll buy the old Dodge Omni. I saw one of those for sale the other day. You remember the Dodge Omni that Daddy had we drove around? You don't remember? When I wrecked my car, I borrowed his Omni, the little hatchback silver car that had the paint coming off the top of it. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that, baby.
You remember... What was that car? It was a Chevrolet. It was the, when you got pregnant with Will, I traded in my Cutlass and I bought the Corsica, Chevy Corsica.
Yes.
And then I wrecked the Corsica because a lady in a MG BGT decided to turn left from the right-hand lane of a 4-lane.
Yep.
And then that car was down and I drove around the Dodge Omni. Little hatchback silver car.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that car?
No.
Because I remember this. 2 stories. So I spun that car on the road because apparently the tires are pizza cutters, but also I stopped in Dadeville. So Will had been born. He was in a car seat in the back. You're in the back with him, and you can't see the car seat. You just see me driving the car and you in the back. And I go into this store, and the girl working the cash register is like, "You think you some kind of pimp or something?" And I was like,
What?
"I'm just getting a Coke here and a Dr. Pepper. Like, what are you telling me?" She's like, "You think you some kind of pimp or something?" I was like, I'm lost. I have no, like,
I do not ever remember
She's like,
ever the story.
She's like, you got your girl in the back. And I was like, "There's a baby back there." And she's like, "Oh." And then I just bought and I left.
Yeah.
Yeah. She forgot you were ashamed of it. That's what it was.
I honestly.
You don't remember the Dodge Omni, the little silver car? I gotta pull this up.
I have no recollection.
I gotta pull up a Dodge Omni right now.
No recollection.
Come on. I saw one the other day for $3,000 and it was beautiful. It was immaculate, 50,000 miles.
Absolutely zero recollection of this car.
This car.
I absolutely never remember that car.
So Daddy got it. Daddy had like 40,000 miles on it. And I drove it for like 6 months till I bought the Bronco. I ended up getting rid of the Corsica because we fixed it and it never would run, and I got the Bronco.
I do not remember that.
Jill has blacked it out. She's like, "No, that was not cool." Which it was better than the Somerset you owned and the Cutlass I was rocking around in. Tyler, glad to hear it. Trading a fellow tater at Caribou Crossing for an E.H. Taylor. Oh, you did good. You did good, Tyler. You won that trade right there. Because the Caribou Crossing, mediocre at best. The E.H. Taylor Straight Rye, good stuff. So you won that one. Post-pregnancy memory loss.
Apparently.
I would forget a Dodge Omni
and plus
also.
It's been 26 years ago.
Here's the problem. Here's the thing about the Dodge. At that point, it was like, I don't know, it was 15, 20 years old. It was not new. And it had, when he got it, it had like 20-something thousand miles on it. I think it was a little more miles than that when we were driving it around. Now, it'd been sitting outside, so all the clear coat was gone, the paint was faded, but it was in perfect shape. It got great gas mileage, and my car was broke because I hit an MG BGT, okay? Well, so I fixed it. I fixed it, but we bought doors and quarter panels, and we bought a bunch of stuff off another car. We got it running, but it just continuously had problems after we got it running. And so I'm just like, this is not safe. And so I sold it and I bought Brad's Ford Bronco.
I do remember the Bronco.
I bought the Bronco before we got rid of it.
I remember the Bronco.
Because I was driving the Bronco around, I got it fixed, and then we got rid of that and we bought, was that
that was
the little Ford, the little red Ford that we bought?
Yeah.
That was awful. That was the worst car I've ever owned.
That was horrible.
That was much worse than the Dodge Omni. Focus. It was a Ford Focus.
Focus.
Worst car I've ever owned in my entire life right there. Like, you just be rolling the window down and the handle come off and you're like, I don't know what just happened.
LaMarcus wants to know, what was your day job prior to YouTube?
Oh, well, I mean, it still is my day job. I am in e-commerce. So we build websites that sell things. If you need a website, let me know. I mean, honestly, it needs to be kind of a big business. We don't, we help decent-sized businesses improve their e-commerce experience. How long have we been married, Chris Bennett says?
We've been married for 25 years.
Chris Garner, was it a white Bronco? It was not that cool Bronco. It was a Bronco 2. Mm-hmm. So it was a little bitty Bronco 2, and it had a lift. I bought it from my brother, so it had a lift, had big tires on it. The back had the twist thing that would open the hatch, but it had no key hole in it, like somebody had broke into it or something, so you couldn't lock it. I kept getting pulled over in it. I went through Alex City, I got pulled over, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we're just looking for somebody in a Bronco like this." And I was like, it might be time for me to get rid of this.
Eric V, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you to say.
What'd Eric say?
He says I look 26.
Who? Who said that? Which platform?
Over here on YouTube.
You're paying attention to YouTube.
It already went.
It already went. I'm about to ban him. He's over here. We can't have liars.
Are you saying that I don't?
I'm saying you don't look a day over 21. And this guy right here is insulting you.
You're so funny. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. King of Kings. Which stag is the best pour? You talking about like Stag, don't call me Junior Stag? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Which bottle's like freaking Something
I don't
rattling
know,
over
it's
here.
one of them over there.
The bar's getting a little rattly. I don't like, dude, every batch is fantastic. I don't know enough about stags to know which one's the best because I don't open them all. I've got a couple of backup bottles back there that we bought on hunts.
Stag blind.
We should do a stag blind. We should just take every stag we've got and blind them.
Yep.
But then that's like a drop in the bucket to how many stags are actually out there. So,
really?
And I don't want to open them all because I've got two back here that just don't get drank an awful lot. So I don't, unfortunately, King of Kings, I do not know. Sorry. Yeah, she's celebrating the 10th anniversary of her 21st birthday. More like the 25th anniversary of her 21st birthday. Is it a lie? Is it a lie? You're supposed to be truth teller.
I'm not quite that old yet. Wait until May.
She's like, I'm not quite that old. Wait 17 days.
May is further away than 17 days. Thank you.
Jake says, have you made Poor Man's Pappy? I did make a little bit of it, Jake, but honestly, I like the 107 better than the Poor Man's Pappy, so I'm like, I'm not wasting my 107 on this nonsense. Just can't do it.
LaMarcus wants to know what your most successful website is. Curious to see what your work looks like.
Ooh, most successful.
Good question.
Cutting right to the heart of it right there.
I
Just
like that.
Cut to the freaking chase,
question.
doesn't he? I don't know who the most successful. Like we're working with Underwood Ammo right now, and we have really helped their business. Like we took online sales from like 40% of their business to 60% of their business. So we've blown that out of the water. First Place Auto Parts, done a great job for them. They're growing like crazy. We used to do all the stuff for like Tiki, Zebco, Charbroil, gas grills and stuff like that.
But that was back in the day.
That's back 6-7 years ago. They've taken most of that stuff in-house. Yeah, it's not the stuff they have out there right now. So it'd probably be those two would be ones that you could probably check out and kind of see what we've been doing. Are cocktails an insult to a traditional bourbon pour drinker? No, Sean of Things. Like, dude, first of all, if you go somewhere and you ask for a cocktail and they get insulted, they're just kind of assholes. You don't want to hang out with those people anyway. Like, you just be like, hey, dude. If dude gets mad, you just like, all right, it's time for me to go. And then you go home, you have a cocktail, you enjoy yourself. We don't like, we make a lot of cocktails for a lot of folks. And so nothing wrong with that. I've got some, we're about to do a whiskey sour. We were looking for the best whiskey sour, and we had this brand reach out that makes like a whiskey sour mix, and it is out of this world. They sent it to me. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. They sent it, and I was like, we got to bring this to people because that is freaking good. A lot of folks come, so we'll make a lot of moonshine cocktails. Like a lot of the stuff we do on the shorts, we make them here for folks. That's, it's kind of how we find out about a lot of them. C923 is not worth over $90. I'm not a huge fan of Elijah Craig barrel proofs in general, so not for me for sure.
Chris Garner said, would you ever do a website for a distillery? Haven't you?
Well, we did last year, I think it was Woodford did was it Woodford or Old Forester? I think it was Woodford did the like Derby Cups. We did that one. This year they're doing some like super exclusive release around the Derby. I think we're going to be doing that one. We might be doing some stuff for Jack Daniels I can't talk about yet. So we do some stuff for, but it's mostly e-commerce stuff, like them sell merch stuff or something like that, right? Like we don't normally build regular websites. We normally build websites that sell stuff. Now, if like some content is a part of that, that's fine, but that's, yeah, absolutely. Buck, you should have people send you a picture of their collection and you go through it and suggest bottles to add to it. So, Buck, we're actually talking about like so what we're thinking about is can we do like a takeover of a town or a city in regards to bourbon? So can we go there? Can we try all the distilleries, all the cool bourbon bars, hook up with the local bourbon groups, maybe go to some folks that have the biggest selections or collections there and do that. But we're working on, so with the live stream, we're working on some different segments, and we might, like that is definitely a segment I am considering right now. Once we're in the new streaming room over there, once we're in the new studio, having folks send in pictures, we review the pictures, and then we give them some suggestions. Also, like another thing I'm considering is, can we bring somebody in and have them try different bourbons at the bar and then try to work our way to like their perfect bourbon. Ooh. So we let them try, here's 4 things, try those, give us your feedback, and then we move down the rabbit hole to try to find something that they're going to absolutely love. So appreciate the suggestion. Bailey with the $1 super chat. Appreciate the support. Aiden Murphy just opened a Willet Purple Top 10-year and had my first pour of it ever. To be honest, I'm really not impressed for the $375 price point. Yes, Aiden. Yes. It's grain forward. It's spicy. It's wonderful.
Good.
It's great. But honestly, if I'm just being honest with you, Aiden, a 10-year Willet Purple Top for $375 is below wholesale right now. Because I know, like, we've done some picks with some folks. I won't say names, but I know somebody sold a Willet Purple Top for like $500-ish on retail, and that bottle cost them almost $375. Almost, it was like $400 wholesale almost. And so Willet keeps pushing the market up for those Purple Tops because the store gets them for that price. They have to sell them for super expensive. They are delicious, but they're not like $500 delicious for sure. So it's just kind of, that unfortunately, like, that's a game Willet's playing, right? Like, Willet wants those Purple Tops to be exclusive, and over the last 3 or 4 years, they just keep seemingly pushing those prices up. They are delicious whiskey, but I don't know if that juice is worth the squeeze for sure. Bryce, hi, can you tell me about 1792? I found their 12-year and now sampling their small batch. They seem to be a great value in my opinion. So they're Barton. Like, Barton makes the 1792 stuff. It is good whiskey. Nothing wrong with it at all. I think the 12-year is the best thing they offer. Outside of that, like, the small batch is just a good whiskey. It's not something, if I'm drinking it neat in a Glen, that I just rave about or love. The 12 is pretty solid. But outside of that, like, it's a good whiskey. Josh says prices are getting absurd. What do you think, Jill?
I don't know. You never let me see the receipts. So I don't know. Probably. I would imagine that they are getting absurd.
It's very affordable.
I know the cost of groceries,
Whiskey
so I'm
is
going to
very
assume,
affordable. These prices are awesome. Like, nothing's wrong with these prices whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to assume that they are absurd.
The prices are great, Jill.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Tom. Super chat from Tom.
Oh, hey guys, I'm new to bourbon hunting. I scored an E.H. Taylor small batch for $70 here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Good score, about right. So, like, if I saw an E.H. Taylor small batch for $70, I would buy it. In the San Francisco Bay Area, that's a great price. Those are $55, $60 bottles typically with tax. And so, not bad. Not the best price ever, but for the San Francisco Bay, like, if I'd have seen one of those in New York for that price, I'd have been all about it. Well, yeah, all the whiskey's free. People just send this in the mail, Jill. It just shows up. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
Oh, I know we get some in the mail, but like...
Cigars and Spirit, New England. Sorry, I thought you meant single. I don't know. I missed the comment. Bailey. What does that say?
Utah is no longer selling Sazerac products.
It's all like one word. Yeah. So I was like, Utahzimo? What is Utah? I was like, what is Utahzimo? Utahzimo, Utah is no longer selling. So I heard that Sazerac is, they've been working with their distributors. They changed distributors, like some stuff's going on. And so there may be some states affected by the Sazerac distribution for right now, but I'm sure it'll come back. I didn't even read the rest of it. I was just trying to figure out what Utahzimo is. I was like, dang, I drank way too much. I have no idea what Utahzimo is.
Oh my goodness.
That's my new nickname, Utahzimo. Is that Indian? What does that mean? It means soaking.
Goodness gracious.
You'll have to add neat in. You'll have to add neat in Booth Bay Harbor, Maine as a visit spot. Regular sandwich shop front end of a fantastic bourbon bar.
I can't get over Utazimo.
We got her. We got her.
Oh my gosh. Utazimo. Oh gosh. Okay.
Paid $120 for an E.H. Taylor small batch in Illinois. Oof, yeah, 70 pretty good. What's up, Kojak over on Twitch? I don't know what happened to the Twitter comments, but they ain't coming in.
They're not there.
I'm going to check real quick, see if we can get them Twitter. Maybe nobody's commented over on Twitter. Like, that's a possibility as well.
Yeah. Maybe it's not even on.
Oh, I don't think I brought it up. Yep, there's a few folks right there. Look, Schultze's over here. Greg's been hanging out. What's the most I paid for Rock Hill Farms? $250 is my number there, Greg. Or Gray, excuse me, Gray Huxley. So now we got it pulled up. Now it should come in. So if anybody's over on Twitter, sorry, we haven't. I apparently didn't take that last step to get those pulled up. But Twitter's kind of, not a platform we're pulling a lot of numbers on at this point. What's up, Chris Steele? Utazimo.
Okay.
That's what we.
Please don't start.
Utazimo.
Please don't
it's like
start
my magic
that.
words right here.
Please don't start that again.
Jill, if you were to take the best attributes to 3 of your favorite whiskeys and combine them into one perfect whiskey, what would your blend look like?
Oh, wow.
Best MGP rye. Why she's thinking about that, Tucker? Honestly, that Prideful Goat, pretty freaking
Best
good.
attributes of my 3 favorite whiskeys. Wow.
Look, Kyle just jumped in on Twitter. Look, I'm seeing him. I'm seeing several of them come in now. So it's working. Appreciate it.
We're
Thank
sorry.
y'all. Yeah, sorry.
It's not that we don't want to give it love. We just didn't know
The
what
comments
working.
did not pull into our comment feed here. Sorry about that. Kale, what are you thinking about that? Kale OY versus E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Ooh. Oh, he brought the heat right here. Caleb R. Buckman. I would probably go OY if I'm just sitting down and having a pour. But that E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof with the proof is probably going to win out in most blinds. Dunk says we're pure content.
Well, thank
Pure
you.
content.
Thank you very much.
So, apparently.
Very nice of you.
Apparently,
Oh,
they like the Utazimo as well.
would you stop? I can't get through the rest of the stream if you keep saying that word.
So it's that funny of a word?
It is.
Okay.
To me.
Well, so what's your perfect blend, Jill?
Okay, I'm working on it.
Lord.
Like, for example, like vanilla. Is that what we're looking for?
So, what's your favorite whiskey on the planet?
William LaRue.
What do you like about it?
I like its proof.
Okay, it's gonna have high proof.
Yeah, definitely high proof.
She likes the alcohol. Got to go straight to the brain.
No, I don't take but like a sip of it, so it doesn't go straight to the brain.
What happens? You get some high proof whiskey and Utazimo! You're drunk.
God.
No, too far. Okay.
Whew.
What else do you like about it?
I like the caramel.
Okay.
I like caramel. I like all the caramels, vanilla. I even like honey. I like honey a lot. I like that.
I don't think that you think the William
No,
LaRue
William
has
LaRue
honey?
does not have honey.
Okay.
Ooh, which one has butterscotch? Because I really love that too.
Well, that store pick Frey Ranch was butterscotch for days.
Yeah, that was it.
The replacement bottle, not
So I
so
definitely
much.
like sweet.
So you want sweet. You want sweet
high-proof.
fruits,
Yeah.
sugary flavors.
Yeah. High proof, sweet fruit.
So your favorite's going to be like Coy Hill, William LaRue. Mm-hmm. So you tend to
But I
like
love
that
Jack also.
those deep dark red fruit. You like the butterscotch flavors because honestly, you say deep dark red fruit. That could be Coy Hill. That could be Maker's Mark Cellar Age. That could be William LaRue. That describes all of those. They're different, but that could describe all of those whiskeys. So I think that's what Jill's looking for is those deep, dark red fruit and high proof.
But I have also noticed that I think I'm a rye fan. I think I'm a fan of ryes. At least bourbon-friendly ryes.
Like which one?
Like that rye we had tonight, the Nashville Barrel one. Was that the one? Was that a rye?
I don't think the one that tasted like burnt sugar, that was not a rye.
Okay.
The one that I thought was the best was the rye.
Okay. But I just like that rye. Oh, it was the wild turkey. That it wasn't a rye, but
So that's a rye. Wild Turkey has some rye in it for sure. Yeah.
So I kind of like that, rye spice.
Okay. So you like it a little rye, but not too much.
Yeah.
Okay. Jared's in a bourbon group and have some points to spend. Ooh. I could either get a Pappy 15 and use all my points, or I could get 3 to 4 good bottles like Blanton's Gold, Stagg Jr., E.H. Taylor. Jared, this is a tough question. It depends on your current bourbon selection, right? So if you've never had like a Pappy 15, if you don't have like that level of bottle and you really want it, by all means, just go, because that's hard to get. So I did that. Like, that's how I got quite a few of these harder to find bottles, is I took bottles that were semi-hard to find but I could attain, and then I would trade those, multiples of those to get some really hard to find bottles that I've never seen on the shelf or I would never be able to afford. So nothing wrong with taking like the super exclusive over a bunch of them. As far as like just pure enjoyment, dude, like a Blanton's Gold, a Stagg Jr., and E.H. Taylor, especially if you can get like a barrel proof, if you can get like 3 or 4 of those, you're going to enjoy that much more than the Pappy 15 because you got 4 bottles. You got like 4 times as much good whiskey. But overall, that Pappy 15 is going to be a next level up and worth a try if you've never tried it. So I appreciate the super chat, and I apologize for giving you no useful advice whatsoever. What do we got going on here?
Oh, we also like Rock Hill Farms a lot.
We do like Rock Hill Farms a lot, which is not deep, dark red fruit. That's more like bright, sweet, floral fruit. Yeah. Favorite cask strength barrel proof if you had to pick one? Oh, that's the WLW, my friend. Mediocre likes Larceny, likes wheated bourbons. And wheated bourbons will often provide those fruit flavors, so we tend to like those as well. Tyler says Utazimo better be drinking at the new property.
It better be a drink.
Utazimo is going to be the drink at the new property. That's going to be our whiskey sour. It's going to be the Utazimo. Which the property's moving really slow. I'm not sure when that'll happen. It looks like it might, but it's just going to be forever. So I'm impatient. Utah's no is already said. It's got to be Utazimo. You messed up. Can you still get Sazerac products in Utah or nah? Apparently you cannot. But honestly, you can't get a lot of anything in Utah at this point unless you're just like lucky and you walk into one of their drops. So
they're not selling it in Utah anymore?
Apparently that's what that was the super chat, is that Utah is not selling Sazerac products. But I heard from somebody else that some state, it may have been Utah, it may have been a different state, like they had some distribution problems and were swapping things up. And so like they just weren't distributing the products right now. Jake over on Facebook says, Rock Hill Farms knocked my socks off during Christmas.
It is very good.
What do I think of Chicken Cock? The bourbon, pretty good. I like it. We're actually talking about doing a barrel pick. And I told them, like, when we went to do the barrel pick, I was like, they're like, hey, we could do like a custom label. And I was like, okay, well, this is game on. Because what I want your normal label. And let's see, grab it right there. Grab that blue label. See it right there behind the thing? I want the normal label, but I want me riding the chicken. That's what I want. We're gonna do a pick with these folks, and you're gonna get me riding the chicken.
Cheese wants to know where the Indonesian whiskey is.
Oh, we didn't do the Indonesian whiskey. It's right over there, right by the chicken, the drums.
Oh.
There's one up top there as well. I don't know if you want it, the Batavia up top.
I can't reach that.
Yeah, that's fine. Just get those below. Those will be fine. Honestly, one of them is fine. You don't need to try them both. Tim, we are coming to the Carolinas for a hunt when we do the East Coast. Bailey, all off the shelves. No more Sazerac here in Utah. Hate to hear that. But I think the chicken's pretty good.
These are pretty bottles. Oak aged.
That's a solid whiskey. It's light. It's got an interesting kind of sweet oakiness to it. A hint of bubble gum on it. I like the chicken. Chad, don't be giving Jill ideas, okay? Chad, stop.
Where's Chad?
She didn't see it. She didn't see it. She did not see Chad's comments.
Yes, I did. Oh, it's coming. It's coming this year. It's happening this year, Chad.
TX Bourbinator. Dennis, Utazimo, the name of the first bourbon hunt car. So I saw a post on TikTok the other day, and it was like I I'm pretty sure it was just a 3D rendering, but it was a really good one of the A-Team van slammed on like big gold Daytons. And I'm like, this brown on bottom, yellow stripe, white on top, perfect bourbon van. I need this in my life. I need to turn, let me turn the ads back up real quick. See if we can get there a little faster. No ads up in Canada on Brewzle, Susan says. Utah is no, says it's Maggie. We can't call it yet. But she's not, I mean, she is the first road trip car. I'm supposed to have a mechanic I'm talking to Wednesday. I'm hoping to get her in this week. I hope, she's probably not going to make the trip to Memphis later this month, but I'm trying to make sure she's back together and she makes the trip to Spillway. So that's what I'm hoping. In, what is that, April 6th, April 5th, 6th. I hope she's in Mississippi for that trip. Belle Mead, Chris says, Belle Mead has been discontinued, yes. All right, so you are going to, you can't get the Batavia? Okay, let me get by you.
You can get it.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blind these 3 whiskeys for you, and you get to pick which one's the best.
Oh my goodness.
So these are all malted whiskey. Do you not want to?
Well, I just, you
trying to cut back?
I don't want to.
Okay, do you just want to try one of them then?
Yeah, I'll just try one of them. And
so
then maybe next week we could do the
blind. The black label is the oldest, I think, the most rare of
okay. Let's try that
the Indonesian whiskey that we have here. So just go with the black label.
Okay.
It came in a box. That means it's super exclusive.
Ooh.
Would have the B team. So the tag would be B team, but like the A team didn't have the B team on, or they didn't have A team on the side of their van, right? It was just black and red and gray. So I would do a B team tag, but not B team on the van.
Do you want some of this, or is this?
I do not want any of that. No, I will pass on that. You enjoy that very much. You poured the most. You're going to do a proper review of that, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't drink gulps like you do. I sip it. Wow, that smells like a
new car. Smells like a new car. It smells like I got a fresh shipment of rubber.
It almost smells like a scotch.
It's a malt. It's a single malt for sure. Yeah. Do I still not love Detling? Tim Smith says. Well, Tim, I will have you know, I'm not a huge fan of high malt whiskey. So Chattanooga Detling.
No.
I think they're quality whiskey. You not into that?
No.
So I'm not into high malt whiskey. They're quality whiskeys. They're just not to my flavor profile. But Sunday, this coming Sunday, I'm going to be in Atmore, Alabama at Detling, helping Spillway with a barrel pick. And if they can find a barrel that I really, really love, we'll do a barrel pick for the B team as well. Because some of y'all might like it. Like, it's not bad whiskey. So if I try it, I'm like, I mean, this is fine. It's just not what I'm looking for, right? What do you think, Jill?
No.
No? You want to try the red label instead? Because that's the best one.
Not tonight.
It's not. I think actually the Batavia might be a little more mainstream, but it's still kind of similar for sure.
LaMarcus will, let's see.
LaMarcus will what?
Going to be in Gulf Shores for work next month. Any recommendations?
Ooh, so I don't know if you're the one that emailed. Somebody just emailed me. I think they were in Mobile area. So if you're coming from Oklahoma. So Alabama, you're not going to get a lot of luck in Alabama. The beachfront stores probably not going to have a lot of allocated stuff. If they do, it's going to be marked up. You're not going to have a ton of luck there. I wouldn't expect to have a ton of luck there. But on your trip in, if you come through Louisiana, if you come through Mississippi, you stop at some stores, you would have a much better chance there.
Are we going to do an Oklahoma bourbon hunt? We haven't done Oklahoma
We have
yet.
not. Oklahoma is on the list. Now, I don't know if it'll happen this year, though. Maybe next year. We're trying to get to all 50 states by the end of next year. So we're trying to hit the whole East Coast, and then we're going to maybe strategically hit a couple that we haven't, like Illinois and stuff, when we get Chicago. And then we've got to go back to Kansas City, so we might be able to, go on across there and get Kansas and do some things. So we're trying to trying to strategically hit a few, and then next year we're going to have to be surgical. We got to get the Pacific Northwest, like we got to get North Dakota. We're going to get them all. We're going to hit every state by the end of next year. When are we coming to San Diego?
Ooh, San Diego.
We are going to Tijuana at some point, but it's not booked yet. San Diego, Tijuana. Like, am I missing, or is Tijuana?
Yeah, San Diego would be like.
That's San Diego and Tijuana, or is it like, I forget where Tijuana's at. I'm thinking that was San Diego, isn't it?
I think it's down.
I don't freaking know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little scared about the Tijuana thing. I may have to let you go on your own over there.
When we're coming back to Kansas City, we will be back sometime this
Alaska.
summer. We're coming back to Ben Holiday to do a pick for sure.
Yes.
So
June,
if you're in the patron group, make sure you're in the patron group. And when we put those out, so when we do barrel picks, typically there's a few different type of barrel picks, but if it's our barrel pick and we can bring some patrons along, we always do. So San Diego is north of Tijuana. So we got to be in Tijuana for something.
Better
We're
have
going
a
to do some bourbon
passport.
hunt. We do have a passport.
Yeah, and
I'm very sophisticated.
Yeah, but
I'm like
you're gonna
James
lose
Bond
it
over
in
here.
there in your.
Well, I wouldn't have lost if you hadn't put a bunch of crap in there.
Nuh-uh. You should have gave it back to me so I could keep up with it.
Durin, I don't think there's not a particular tier you got to be in to join the pick. It's just like people submit and then they pick who's going to, I don't even know the algorithm they're using at this point to choose people who are going to be on the pick. And so if we're somewhere and not a lot of people choose, you got a great chance of making it. If we're somewhere and a ton of people want to be on that pick, it's a little harder, right? Because we can only take, most of these places, we can only take so many.
Yeah.
We're trying to do more big events like we're doing up at Old Dominic, where we're going to have, like, we can have 200 people there that can help us with those picks. So we're trying.
I think it's Kamikaze says he's from Dothan. What part of Alabama are you guys in?
Opelika, Alabama.
Brewzle Will's from Dothan, though.
He's not from Dothan.
Well,
he lives in Dothan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from here,
Yeah,
but
Tijuana, south of San Diego. I thought so, but like geography, not my thing. I don't know.
he is now currently
Coming to San Antonio. I don't have a plan to be in San Antonio mediocre, but I'm sure we'll get there. I know we've got to do Houston at some point. I've got to go to College Station. I've got some stuff we're planning there. We got a lot of reasons to be back in the Austin area, so I'm sure we'll do some stuff there. Papa Witt, appreciate the super chat. Thanks for the support. All right, guys, I think we are going to call it a few minutes early here. I'm going to jump over on Discord to the supporter-only chat. So if you are a patron or if you recently joined Patron, be sure to link your patron to Discord. You can jump into that chat, ask questions. We just hang out, and like I said, over there, I can be completely open and honest about anything we've got going on, whereas here, I got to try to have a few secrets, just a few little baby secrets, even though I'm not good at that. We do have a drop I'm hoping comes in February. I'm hoping they're there. Like, I need Jill to try these because Jill has never tried these.
I have not.
Should I let you try one right now? Just one?
No, next week.
Next week, maybe.
Gotta save something for next week.
I don't know. Maybe not next week. I don't know. We may, like, I want you to try that Four Roses
Well, next
toasted.
week is our only other week before we go to the big one. And
Oh, so it's next week, then that one.
yeah.
So if we're going to do it on a stream, it's got to be next week. So I'm hoping those barrels land. We've got the short barrels coming. We've got Still Austin barrels on the way. Their distributor is moving, and so we're waiting on that mess before it hits the retailer. The Frey's probably going to be an April release.
April.
We've got the 2 Ben Holidays coming. Those are probably going to be an April release. We've got New Riff coming. We've got a bunch of barrel picks we are working on making right now. A few that are going to blow your freaking minds. And I'm trying to keep those secret. But if you really press me about them,
keep a secret of something,
if you press
dude.
me on them in the supporter-only chat, I'll tell you about them. But right
goodness.
here,
Kamikaze said, so
keep
buy
them secret.
patron and then link in your Discord.
yes, if you were a patron member and you just linked it to Discord, you would be able to jump in. And if you have problems with that, hit somebody up, like just go into Discord, tag a moderator, tag somebody. Probably not going to get it fixed tonight.
Yeah,
but next
I was
live
supposed
stream, you'll be able to jump in there.
Pick you a blind pour for tonight. I didn't do that.
You want to do that before we get out of here?
Yeah, we can do that. One last thing.
We just ran everybody off. We just gave ending signals that the stream was over, and then Jill's like, let's do pour food.
I had one picked out, but I got to find it.
Julian, what's a good bourbon club? I mean, I think the Brewzle Club's a pretty good bourbon club, but like honestly, was it the Big Damn Bourbon Club, the one in Kentucky? They're pretty cool. Other than that, I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm gonna bounce out of here just for a minute and let Jill pick me a whiskey.
I had an idea, but I can't find it.
Well, do you want me to tell you where it's at?
Nope, I do not. I don't need you to tell me where
Just give me a fresh Glencairn. We'll try this, and then we'll jump over to the supporter only chat.
All right, I'm looking for one, but I can't find it.
Should have hit me up on that before we told everybody to leave. We're like, let's everybody just leave. We're not going to stream anymore, and now we're going to do something
different. Well, because I don't see it out here at all. I know it's not going to be up there, so. Well, I don't think my original plan is going to work. I'll just find something different then. There's too much. There's too much.
There's not too much.
There is too much.
Like half the whiskey somebody asked me about tonight, I don't even have. I've never tried. Like, we need more whiskey. That's the answer.
I don't know. What do y'all think? He's probably going to give her something.
Like last time, they kind of threw me. Like,
we'll try.
Honestly, I probably should have guessed at least
it's
a
not my
Weller.
original.
I did guess it was kind of a Buffalo Trace.
Yes, it
but
was
I didn't
not
know
my
the
original
107.
Try, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. He'll probably get it.
So I gotta up my hat
I'm on a
game
streak
here.
though. That was too much. I poured too much.
We did have a hat company, a custom hat company.
I can reach the top shelf with a ladder. With a ladder. All right. Okay, Thomas, you can come back.
We had a custom hat company reach out and it's like, dude, I see your obsession with hats and your game's kind of weak sauce. So I got to send them this hat I'm wearing right now because this is the one that fits me the best, although there's some things I don't like about it. But I could see myself, if the property we're trying to buy works out, I could see myself working the fields in this hat. Like I could see it. So I got to get them this hat.
You gonna be working the fields?
Some, not a lot. But I'm going to send this hat to that company, and they're going to make me some hats based off the size of this hat. But I also told them they got to make me some Proof Queen hats. And you're kind of hat adverse.
Yeah, hats don't look good on me.
This is my whiskey thief I bought right here. I'm going to hand it to Jill so she can
Hansi says, you can tell this lady is addicted to TikTok. I don't understand that. Comment.
That's weird, Vaughn.
Okie dokie.
Mitch, enjoy the channel. Good luck. Happy hunting. Appreciate it, Mitch. That is caramel for days right there. Jurassic Park vibes. That's not what I'm going for. Welcome to Jurassic Park. I put everything we own into a shaving cream container.
Where in the Discord is the after party?
Woodford Double Oak store pick.
What'd you say?
Woodford Double Oak store pick.
What pick?
Is it a Woodford Double Oak?
Yes.
It's the only one we got out. It's a store pick.
Oh. Man!
Yeah.
I lost this time.
Oh, that was easy.
That was easy?
It's the hat. It's the hat.
It's the hat. Yeah, last time you didn't have the hat, and you didn't.
I did not.
Get it.
I didn't. It's all.
And
it's all in the hat.
107.
Like honestly, the 107 should have been easy last because I got all the red fruit, but I did not feel like it was 107 proof last time. So I ended up picking the Hancock because I thought it was just like less than 90 proof. But we had a ton of high proof whiskey that stream. And so I was not too, like, that's not too far off. It's far enough off to lose, but it's not too far off. This,
man,
come on.
Oh, well.
Yes, right now in the chat. Hit me with a Utazimo.
Oh, my goodness.
Utazimo.
Oh, my goodness. Good night, everybody.
How much is the triple oak versus the double oak? So it's not the triple oak, Ben. It's the double oaked. And it's not that much better, but, like, whiskey doesn't work like that. You've got good whiskey, and then you've got great whiskey. It's like good whiskey and great whiskey is like this much apart. And that's the double oak. Like it is that much apart. Robert doesn't like the chicken cock. The one I've got pretty good. I've got the Chanticleer or whatever. It's like just full bubble gum. Pretty good. All right, appreciate y'all joining. We had a great time. This was a fun live stream. Yes. We will see y'all next Monday. So next Monday, we will be here streaming again. The Monday after that, we're on the road in Memphis, Tennessee at Old Dominic. Huling Station. We're going to be doing a live barrel pick event with 200 folks. We will have a live, are you going to be there? You going to be there?
Am I gonna?
You looked at me like something was wrong, like
No,
I said something wrong. I don't know. I thought I'd messed up.
No.
I will be there. I hope Jill's there. We're going to be having a good time. We're going to be streaming in a live studio audience. We're going to be walking around. We're going to be doing barrel picks. It is going to be crazy, but like this is the first of a lot of crazy events that we are trying to do. Like we're trying to take events further and harder and do more and more of them all across the country. So tune in, support that. If you're anywhere close to Memphis or you can get to Memphis, feel free to join us. That is Monday the 26th. We will be there at Old Dominic Huling Station doing some barrel picks. So we're going to have a great time. Appreciate all of y'all joining. We'll see y'all next Monday if we don't see you before.